rant here. Oh my god, this is the rant face, folks. I'm about to rant. There's a big difference between like competition painting or very high-hand painting and tabletop painting, and I think it's kind of important to not lose sight of what you are doing. Because it's easy to get carried away. Like you check Instagram and you see somebody doing something really cool, or you check YouTube and you see somebody doing something very cool, and that's kind of the social media like lie, is that so a lot of the times the like cool YouTubers like me, I'm not that cool, or like they paint one model and then they're done. So they're kind of losing the sight of like if you're following along, you want to do your whole army, and that's kind of where a lot of times you lose it, and vice versa, where a lot of times you paint really nice army and you go, oh, I'll enter into a competition, but then the it's like a two different world basically. A quick example on this little guy here is like, this armor is like a good tabletop quality, like it's a out of focus is what it is. So it's a high tabletop quality, but in terms of competition, this is very far from anything that's passable, because the contrast is like not there. Like I would need each and every single one of these little like armor plates on the scale mail here. I would need them to be like a lot more contrasted. I need the definition to be really defined. But it's easy to lose sight of what you're doing if you're not like kind of committed to a plan. And it's also why a lot of people kind of give up on competition painting, because competition and like high end and like super display standard, it gets boring real fast. Like we're doing this on stream seconds ago, and at some point you have to realize that this is going to be like, it's going to take me 1 hour of like doing little black lines on every single surface. Like this is boring. There's no like nobody's having fun doing that. And then this is a big bold bright armor, but at some point you get to like the pouches, and the pouches you have to do the exact same thing. You can't just like stop because it's pouches and it's boring. You have to do the freaking black line, there's a little line in the middle for the where the button is supposed to go, and then super highlighted. So I think it's really easy to kind of lose sight of like the bigger goal and the bigger purpose. And that's one thing that all the tutorials I'm doing, they're always aimed at, like, if you were painting an army, can something that be like more high end? Yes, of course it can. But a lot of times you don't need that, because if you were to paint an army to this standard, you would go batshit crazy. Trying to like, if you try to get like every sanguinary guard in your army, and there's only 20 of those, like you should not be aiming towards that. At least not until you got like 20 that are painted to a decent standard, and you just go, I can upgrade them. And if you still want to at that point, because well, they're going to be painted and they're going to look nice. But I feel that's a discussion that I've seen a lot in like Facebook groups and everything, of like, oh, this is my guy from my army, I'm entering it in a competition. Do you think it's going to go great? I mean, I think it's great in your army, but then you get into a competition and like, I've seen a guy, I'm not going to name him, but I've seen a guy paint like really high-end tabletop stuff, but in competition he could never place, but because he did not understand that like high-end tabletop was like normal tabletop, like my regular army is somewhere here, and then high-end tabletop is like just a good step above. Like and he would paint that Games Workshop box art and everything, but if you take like a box art mini, like a mini that's on the box of a Games Workshop thing, and you try to place into like the Golden Demons, you are in for a bad time. The scale is kind of tipped where like tabletop, high-end tabletop, and then competition painting is like way like it's like double or triple the scale. You should not kind of mix both. I think you have to sell for either, and then that's one thing that I say a lot is I don't have the patience to do competition painting anymore. I tried my hand at it. I went into it just enough to realize how insane it is, and like I know how to get there, but I never want to do that, because to me it's not where I'd rather paint like a full army than paint one sanguinis to that level in my spare time, because at some point you get to that dumb little detail, like that little I don't know, like that little the handle on the sword, and then the handle on the sword needs to be perfect. But I can tell you very much that once I'm done with like striping it red and it's got little details, it's kind of gonna be done for me. But if I was entering this into a competition, it would not be. I have to put some more effort into it, more time into it. Whereas if this is part of my army, it's never gonna happen. Um, so yeah, competition painting is really hard, and I know about it just enough to know that I'm not good at it. I think you have to be very perfectly honest with yourselves about what you're trying to do and not fool yourself into thinking that because you paint great armies that your models would win competition, nor should they. Okay, I'm done ranting now. I've had this on my mind for a while because I've seen this trend. Like I've seen people like not break down because it's fucking hard on morale to be like it hurts to be told like yeah this is not. And the guy I'm talking about he was like on the verge of tears and because he did not understand that like hand and competition were like almost like an entire different hobby. This does not look weird at all.